Hello and welcome to another edition of Arlene's Book Club Book Reviews. Sorry I've been away for such a long time. We've actually moved, so I had to take a break from doing the videos, and now I'm catching up. So thanks for tuning in. So I have a really special treat for you tonight. It's a 5-star. The book I'm reviewing tonight is called The Fisherman by Omi Ala. Here it is. So this book is really good. So I just want to give you a quick summary of what's in the book, and then I'll tell you why I like it so much. So to begin, the summary. This book is set in Akure, which is in West Nigeria, and it's about 4 brothers who basically become fishermen. They start fishing one day when the father, who is very strict, leaves to go to Yola, which is north of where they live, and on a job transfer. He works for the Nigerian Central Bank. And so the boys start fishing, and then basically they meet a madman. He is called Abulu, and he basically prophesies that Ikenna, one of the brothers, will be killed by one of his brothers. So that's the basic summary of the book. And basically when you start reading this, it's just, the premise is really good, and it's really about what happens after that. And so, you know, I love this book. Chikozy, this is his first book, and he was a finalist in the Booker Prize, and you know, he writes really beautifully. The story flows really well, and it was a page turner for me. What I loved about this was that it was about family and the family bond, and how basically something as simple as a prophecy changes all that. You know, you have the before, where the family's, you know, very happy, they're well educated, you know, the boys are from a well educated family, and they're, you know, well to do, and you know, they're loved, and the parents aren't that strict. They are strict, but not, you know, overly strict, and the boys are loved and they're smart. And just from this one single chance meeting with this madman who, you know, tell Ikenna that he's going to be killed by one of his brothers, sets into a chain of events that just is really sad. And it's not really for somebody who's looking for a, you know, easy summer read. So this book was thought-provoking, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the book. And one of the other aspects that I really liked about the book was the way the book was laid out, and particularly the chapters. So when you're reading the chapters, for instance, you know, chapter 1 is called The Fisherman, so it tells the story of how they became fishermen, and then it goes on about the river and how they start fishing, and then, you know, each chapter is relevant in terms of expressing what's going on in the book, as well as developing the character. And you know, it was interesting that he had a lot of, like, the Faulkner was the mother, and we have, you know, spiders in there, we have, you know, different animals and insects to convey each of these characters, and I found that rather interesting. And the other thing I liked about this was the themes, you know, particularly the theme of the brotherly bond between Ikenna, the eldest, Boja, Obembe, and Benjamin. So, you know, they're very close-knit, these boys, and when something occurs, you know, when this tragedy happens, basically, you know, everything goes out of control, and you sort of expect it, but you don't. And it's a very interesting look into how just one chain of events, you know, rapidly just goes out of control, and you wonder how people come back from something like that when the bond that was so strong was, you know, completely destroyed. And so I like that, that aspect. The other thing, you know, with the plot was nice and, you know, very simple, and obviously the themes that came up, you know, there's a lot of stuff that was related to, I guess, Cain and Abel. So this was an interesting look into fate and prophecy, I thought. So you have Ikenna, who basically ends up, I mean, he's only a young boy, so he ends up accepting his destiny that he's going to be killed by, you know, one of his brothers. And that acceptance sort of just, you know, that fear just fester inside of him, and it just, you know, just expresses itself, and it gets really bad. And, you know, you see the effects of that fear and what it produces. And so I thought that was a very interesting aspect. So another aspect that I liked about this book was basically I learned a lot about Nigerian culture. And, you know, this book is set in Nigeria in the 1990s. And there's mention of MKO Abiola, I think his name is Abiola. You can't, you know, MK is the short abbreviated of his name that I can't pronounce, so just bear with me. So MKO, and how he won the elections, and although the meeting with the boys in the story was not real, it was made up, it was interesting that he, you know, that was brought into the story, and it gave it some credence, and how things were before, how happy the boys were compared to the events that happened after the prophecy. So I thought that was really a good thing to put in there. And I love the fact that, you know, I learnt about Yoruba and Igbo culture just through some of the sayings in the book. And you know, you know, it's narrated from Benjamin's point of view, and he's 9 in this. So it's a very creative way of bringing all those aspects together and making the book work. And, you know, I gave this book 5 out of 5 completely, and for me it was just a really fantastic read, and I loved it. So that, you know, I definitely would recommend you to pick this up and, you know, just have a read and check it out, because it's definitely worth it. So, you know, please do pick it up, and please tune in again next time for another book review. Hopefully I'll be doing more of those, and you know, now that I'm sort of settled in my new place. So thanks for tuning in today, and have a good day, my friends. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.